The late afternoon sun was warm on our faces, a sticky kind of heat that summer always brought. My brother, Sam, just a year younger than me at 7, was already ahead, his small legs pumping like pistons, chasing after a bright blue butterfly. Myself at 10 was a little more careful, but not by much. Our family farm was really big, with fields that stretched forever, and then, at the back, 50 acres of thick, dark woods. Dad always told us to stay out of there, especially alone. He said it wasn't safe, that people could get lost, or worse. But that day, the woods looked inviting. Like a secret garden just waiting for us to find it. "Come on, Tom!" Sam yelled, his voice a little squeaky with excitement. It went into the trees. My heart thumped a quick rhythm against my ribs. We weren't supposed to go in. But the butterfly was so pretty, and Sam was already halfway to the first line of tall, skinny pines. What harm could it do? Just a little bit. We could turn back any time. So, I followed. The air instantly cooled under the thick canopy of leaves. The ground was soft with pine needles and damp earth, and the sunlight, which had been so bright just moments before, now only poked through in thin, shimmering beams. It was quiet too, a deep, listening kind of quiet, broken only by the chirping of crickets and the rustle of leaves under our sneakers. We walked deeper, the butterfly long forgotten. We were explorers now, discovering new worlds. Every twisted root was a mountain range, every fallen log a giant's bridge. Sam, ever the more adventurous, kept pointing out things. "Look, Tom! A bird's nest, or wow, a really big spider web." I tried to act brave, but a shiver, not from the cool air, ran down my spine. The trees here were different. They were older, bigger, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers. Some had dark holes in their trunks that looked like eyes watching us. We must have walked for a long time. The shadows were growing longer, painting the forest floor in stripes of dark and light. The air was getting cooler, and a strange, quiet feeling began to settle over me. The kind of quiet that means something is about to happen. "Sam," I said, my voice sounding small and weak in the big woods. "Maybe we should go back. It's getting late." Sam stopped, his head tilted. "But we haven't found anything cool yet." "We found the butterfly," I said, trying to sound firm. "And it's getting dark. Dad will be mad." He grumbled, but he started to turn around. As we turned, the forest suddenly looked different. All the trees looked the same. There were no landmarks, no familiar twists in the path. Panic, cold and sharp, pricked at my skin. "Which way is home?" Sam asked, his voice suddenly very small. I looked around, my stomach twisting. My mind was a blank. One tree looked just like the next. We were lost. My throat felt tight. "I don't know," I whispered. Then, a sound. A twig snapped behind us. We both froze, holding our breath. It wasn't a squirrel, not a deer. It was too heavy. Another snap, closer this time. "Who's there?" I called out, trying to sound brave, but my voice trembled. Silence. Then, a low chuckle, rough and gravelly, seemed to come from the shadows to our left. Sam grabbed my hand, his small fingers digging into mine. His hand was clammy. A figure emerged from behind a thick oak tree. He was a big man, tall and broad, with a shaggy beard and clothes that looked old and dirty. He had a mean look in his eyes, small and dark, like bits of coal. He was carrying something, a thick, gnarled stick that looked like it had been torn from a tree. Well, the man said, his voice like grinding stones. Look what we have here. 2 little lost lambs. He took a step closer, and another. We backed away, stumbling over roots. My mind raced. This wasn't a friendly farmer. This was the kind of person Dad warned us about. This was trouble. Leave us alone, I managed to say, pushing Sam a little behind me. The man just smirked, a cruel twist of his lips. Now, why would I do that? You're on my land now. My land? This was our farm. Fear, hot and choking, washed over me. He took another step, raising the stick a little. Run, Sam! I yelled, shoving him forward. Sam didn't need to be told twice. He turned and bolted, little legs pumping, disappearing into the shadows. I hesitated for a split second, then followed, my heart hammering. The man roared behind us. Get back here, you brats! We ran, blindly, through the trees. Branches slapped at our faces, roots tried to trip us. I could hear the man's heavy footsteps crashing through the undergrowth behind us. He was fast, surprisingly fast for such a big man. He's gaining! Sam whimpered, his breath coming in ragged gasps. I risked a glance over my shoulder. He was closer, his face twisted in a snarl. He was swinging the stick, aiming for us. Zigzag! I shouted, remembering something Dad had once told me about running from animals. Don't run straight. We weaved between trees, ducking under low branches. My lungs burned, and my legs felt like jelly, but the fear was a cold, hard knot in my belly, pushing me forward. I could hear the man cursing behind us, his breath heavy. Suddenly, Sam tripped. He let out a cry as he went down, sprawling on the leafy ground. Sam! I skidded to a halt. The man was almost on him. Without thinking, I turned back. I saw the stick raised high, coming down towards Sam. I screamed, a raw, desperate sound, and threw myself forward. I didn't know what I was doing, just that I had to do something. I hit the man's leg, not hard, but enough to throw him off balance. He grunted, and the stick missed Sam, thudding into the soft earth beside him. He stumbled, then glared down at me, his eyes blazing. You little pest, he snarled, and aimed a kick at me. I scrambled back, just missing his heavy boot. Sam, who had scrambled to his feet, pulled at my arm. Tom, come on! We ran again, even faster this time, the man's angry yells ringing in our ears. My vision was blurry from sweat and tears, but I kept pushing. I knew we had to get out. We had to get home. We burst through a thick patch of thorny bushes, tearing our clothes and scratching our skin. And then, through the trees, I saw it. A sliver of open sky, not just patches through the leaves, but a wide, bright expanse. The field! I gasped, pointing. The field is there! We ran towards it, stumbling, falling, getting back up. The sound of the man behind us was fading. He must have given up, or maybe he was just slower. We crashed out of the woods, blinking in the bright, late afternoon sun. Our field! It stretched before us, green and welcoming. We didn't stop. We ran across the field, our chests heaving, not daring to look back. We ran until our legs burned and our lungs screamed, until we saw the familiar red roof of our farmhouse in the distance. Dad was on the porch, calling our names, his voice filled with worry. When he saw us, dirty and scratched and tear-stained, he rushed towards us. "Tom! Sam! What happened?" he asked, his voice shaking as he pulled us into a tight hug. We tried to talk, but the words wouldn't come out. We just clung to him, shaking. It took a long time, after Mom had cleaned our scrapes and given us warm milk, for us to tell them what happened. Dad listened, his face grim. He went back into the woods, but he never found the man. He told us that day, with a serious look in his eyes, that some people are just bad, and that we were lucky. We never went back into those woods, not alone anyway. And even now, when I think of that day, I can still feel the cold dread of being lost, the burning in my lungs, and the terrifying sound of that man's voice. It was a long time ago, but the woods, in my memory, still hold that dark secret, a reminder of the day two young boys learned that sometimes, the scariest things aren't just in stories.